Hello everybody, welcome to sunny Managua, the capital of Nicaragua, though it's not as humid for day 3 of the Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championships as it has been, but destination Uruguay very much in mind, and Mexico will certainly fancy taking one of the 3 spots on offer at the World Cup Finals in November after their opening 8-0 rout of Nicaragua. Puerto Rico, who they play today, may give them a sterner examination as they seek their first points after an opening 4-1 loss to Haiti. We're in the National Stadium in Nicaragua. So Mexico versus Puerto Rico it is. They have met on one previous occasion. And, these are the temperatures and the pitch conditions prevailing on the day. It's a Saturday afternoon here, late, 5:30 in the afternoon it's coming up to in Nicaragua. So wherever you're watching around the world, I hope you're going to stay with us and enjoy the action. We've seen plenty of goals already in this championship. 13 on day 1, 7 yesterday, so we're up to 20 in just 4 games. The table toppers are Mexico in Group A, courtesy of an 8-0 win over their hosts Nicaragua, whereas Haiti have a goal difference of +3 as well as their 3 points because they beat Puerto Rico 4-1 in the opening game. And Nicaragua later will be hoping to pick up their first ever points at under-17 level when they meet Haiti. But should Mexico and Haiti prevail today, then they will automatically be through to the semi-finals. Remember, we have 2 groups, Group A and Group B, and the top 2 teams from each of those groups go into the semi-finals, and then the winners meet one another in the final, and there is a 3rd place match to decide which 3rd team goes to Uruguay in November. The hot favourites would appear to be United States, as always, but Mexico and Haiti, who we're going to see today, may have plenty to say about that, along with Canada, you suspect. Obligatory FIFA and Concacaf flags arrive in the vision of the spectators away on the far side of the stadium here. The officials in green and black today are from Costa Rica, from Dominican Republic and from Guyana. Here come the 2 teams. Puerto Rico favouring their red and white stripes today, and Mexico in the lucky strip they used for the 8-0 success on opening night. Are led out to flank the officials, the referee in the centre of your shots, Marianela Araya Cruz from Costa Rica. She was the one with the ball between her feet.
Les pedimos permanecer de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de México, seguido por el himno nacional de Puerto Rico.
They are designated as the host country. Oh, a few little giggles and smiles from the girls there during the playing of the national anthems before they shake the hands of the four officials and one another, of course. And the fourth official, also in the centre of the picture there, is the lady who took charge of one of the opening matches, Maurice Skeet from Guyana. Referee Marianela Raya Cruz is flanked by Milagros Leonardo from Dominican Republic and Nelly Alvarado of Costa Rica. Well, not surprising, the Aztecas make numerous changes, even in goal, with the introduction of Ana Paula Ruvalcaba. There are slots in defence for Eslin Garcia and Nicole Soto, and in midfield for Noemi Granados and Yanin Madrid, while 2-goal Alison Gonzalez, the player of the tournament for me so far, earns a rest, affording a start for Vanessa Busso, number 9. It's much cooler today than it has been on the previous match days. And here are officials, so Senorita Araya with her second match already. Toss of the coin, exchange of the penalties. We have a new captain for Puerto Rico today, Isabel Casio, reward for scoring their team's only goal of the competition so far in the loss to Haiti. And we can look now at the way Puerto Rico line up, just the 4 switches for them, including the captain with the armband passing to Casio, scorer of that splendid goal against Haiti. Maria Colon and Zoemi Cobian, both utilised from the bench in that match, in from the off today, as is Juliette Wolpert. The top scorer in qualifying, Yari Maldonado, has to be content with a substitute role today. And this is the Mexican bench. Some very, very good players on there, including Gonzalez, who was terrific. She scored twice, one of them rather dubious because the last touch was off a Nicaraguan defender, and she had 5 assists. So Alison Gonzalez, number 10, is listed amongst these Mexican subs today. Aileen Aviles has also scored a goal. Whereas for Puerto Rico, the unrelated Maldonados are the standout names. The coach here of Puerto Rico is Paul Shek Bakovsky, 55 years of age, appointed in March after 5 years in a similar role with Haiti. And here is the goalkeeper, Cristina Roque, who had a very good game despite letting in 4 goals. The opposite number, Ana Paula Ruvalcaba from Chivas in Guadalajara, wins her 8th cap today. So we're just about off. This is game 5 of the Under-17 Championship. It is Mexico against Puerto Rico. Mexico attacking the goal to our right, and they are in the white strip. And expect them to have the lion's share of possession, as they did in their first game. So it's expected that Puerto Rico will give them a much tougher day out than did our host nation. It's a good opportunity in a tournament like this one to give just about everybody some game time. This is an important ball to win, and it is rolled back very safely by Liliana Graves, who actually won more tackles than any other player in Puerto Rico's first game. Liliana Graves, the tall centre half. Two against one, and the 2 came out with the ball, though. Will be throwing for Puerto Rico now. There's the number 6 for Mexico, Noemi Granados from Veracruz, also making her first appearance here. A very long back pass indeed from Carreto, all the way back to Ruvalcaba. Minute and a half gone. The earliest goal we've had was scored by the United States yesterday, a 4-goal minute. A goal in the 4th minute, I should probably read. And it was an own goal, but they all count the same. First free kick here. This is against the Puerto Rican Rocio Perez from the Gladiator Club in Dorado. There are several who play for that club. Free kick for Mexico to be taken by Nicole Soto, who starts this game. She's one who plays in California. Drives it through the middle. Could just be too inviting for the goalkeeper to clutch onto. It is. And certainly Roque blameless on the 4 Haiti goals that went in past her the other day. In many tournaments, there's sort of 3 days between matches, but in this Concacaf tournament, only 2 days, just 48 hours on from the first games the two teams are meeting. Now this is goal side of the defender. First chance for the Mexicans, but the ball is whipped through that 6-yard area, and it was Buzo who couldn't quite latch onto the cross. Buzo playing in an old-fashioned centre-forward role. Looks like she's going to be assisted up front by Yanin Madrid, number 16. Seen safely out by the Puerto Rican defence. This is just the Puerto Ricans' 5th game over all the years. This is the 6th edition of the Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championship. And Puerto Rico have won just once. It was a 2-1 victory against Jamaica in Trinidad and Tobago. No joy since then. Maybe today will be the day for them. They do have some support in the stadium. As do Mexico, who are on the attack again now, trying to find some space down this right touchline. A check inside from Buzo, a tickle on from her. Chance for Reyes, who scored a spectacular goal the other evening. But no venom in this particular effort. So the bulk of the play largely inside Puerto Rico's half, as we expected, as we look at Monica Vergara, the Mexican coach, who was pleased with the performance on opening day, and well, you would be when you score 8 goals. Roque will get the ball as far as the centre circle and indeed into the opposition half. It's going to come back her way. The pitch, by the way, is synthetic. Taking it on now is Morleon, who scored twice in that opening victory against Nicaragua. Centre back is Nicole Soto. And we'll look to see if Puerto Rico can get anything moving in the opposition half. And they couldn't, because they conceded a free kick. The culprit on this occasion, Rocio Perez.
Rocio, you're good. Rocio, yeah. See, you're good. You're good, G.
So the early free kicks seem to be going Mexico's way. We've had 5 minutes. And I'm afraid that is not the sort of free kick that the Mexican coach would have been looking for. Straight through and straight out of play. There's the opposite number, however, Shek Barkowski. Lived in this part of the world for several years now. His assistant actually comes from Ecuador, Christian Castro. If anything, a slightly larger crowd in here today, which is encouraging. In fact, we have spectators not only in the main stand opposite where I am, but behind both goals today, and I don't think we've had that before, certainly not behind one of the goals. And the Mexican who intervenes is Reina Reyes. She scored a spectacular goal the other evening. A 30-yarder that absolutely ripped into the net via the fingers of the opposition goalkeeper. And here is Reyes now. Solid play in defence, and another ball win from Liliana Graves. And a race on at the other end. Should be won by the Mexican defence. Steered out very safely by Soto, who was a substitute for Tana Carreto in the previous match. She partners her today. But quite understandable, the Mexican coach should want to look at different options. Their third game is likely to be the pivotal one, in a way, although, as I mentioned earlier, both Mexico and Haiti could go through today. If they both win today, very safe. But Mexico against Haiti still to come. So another couple of days. Quite a few stoppages in these early phases of the contest. And here was another one, well offside. Mexico eager to play the ball through the centre circle. Look for others to make the move up front, and here it is. This is the big chance for Mexico now. She can come all the way in on goal. Surely she'll shoot herself. The save is made. Well, that's a big opportunity blown there by the Mexicans. That really should have been goal number one, because they had 3 players forward. And this is a massive opportunity for Nayeli Diaz. Decides to take it on herself. No blame attached there, but she cannot beat goalkeeper Roque. And just look where Buzo was stationed. A pass to the number 9. It simply had to be a goal. So you could say it's a little bit greedy from Nayeli Diaz. She does have 1 goal so far, but that was a tap-in laid on for her by Alison Gonzalez in the opening game. Mexico should now be in front. Puerto Rico's defence holding firm, and I've been impressed by their goalkeeper. Very good, Cristina Roque. She didn't panic at all in the face of the onrushing Diaz there. Made a good stop. Another lusty challenge, this time from the Mexican Granados. One of the introductions to the starting lineup today. Well, we're almost up to 10 minutes played, and the goalkeepers come right up to the halfway line to take this free kick for Puerto Rico. And she should be able to get it into the penalty area. She has done. This will dribble through to the other goalkeeper, Rubalcaba. Well, an unusual bounce off the turf, and I think there'll be a free kick conceded here. It all got down to a question of who wanted that ball the most there and who had the greater pace. I think the Mexican did have the greater pace. The only way to stop it getting through was the fouler. We've not had too many bookings in the championship as yet. 4, I think it is. No red cards. This is the lively Moleon. A wayward ball there. Unfortunately, they've made up for that. It was a mistake at the back from the Mexicans, and it required the intervention of Nicole Soto to make sure there was no great alarm caused. There may have been a chance for Corbian there to get through. 1 goal Puerto Rico did score in their game with Haiti was a beauty. Let's see what Mexico can do this time. Not enough. Not yet, anyway. Granados. Sometimes difficult for matches to be played for the players out there when there's not a lot of atmosphere. There's another break on here, and again onside and getting goal side of the defence. And will be another free kick against Puerto Rico. Foul committed on Eslin Garcia, who picks herself up. The opponent hasn't yet done so. Once again, I think the referee's going to take a lenient view. Probably just says, just be careful now. She's been told to wait as well. She looked more than groggy. There's a real collision there, and there was an ouch factor about the way Bianca Rosado went down. But there's another player sitting down as well now. So we do get quite lengthy stoppages here. So it seems that some of the players take a while to recover from that sort of a knock, and Rosado is clearly in some pain on her first appearance in the championship, and she's going to hobble off behind the goal as the Well, there's nobody, I don't think, quite gone to see to her yet. And she's sitting down on the pitch again. Now, this is something that should be avoided, really. Maybe the referee could have said to her, look, if you're hurt badly enough, go off the pitch and you can have the treatment there. Now the stretcher bearers are called for, and that means that we're probably going to have something like a 2-minute stoppage here, which should be added on at half-time. I can understand Bianca Rosado wanted to stay on the field of play, but now that she's called for the stretcher, maybe it would have been better if she'd been advised to go off. And the coach of Puerto Rico is already thinking of making a decision here, because he's just called down the line to one of his substitutes. And I think he's telling her to get prepared for a bit of action. The girl in question would be Daniela Perez. There she is. So I think the coach here, Shek Barkowski, has already made his mind up. But this is an extremely lengthy stoppage before the free kick is taken, and it's very flat. Does get through, and it's off the post, and not yet finished off. Still the opportunity here, and that one is blocked. Well, Mexico have had 2 or 3 golden opportunities to break the deadlock here, but unable to do so as yet. It was a timid sort of a free kick. It's Reyes who lifts it through the goalkeeper's fingers against the posts. Then the goalkeeper gets another block on. It spins back here and just unable to force it through. It will go out for a corner kick though. Spinning in, flicked on. Could go all the way out. No, just going to be kept in. Well, that's good play. That's real trickery. Puerto Rico were lucky to survive that. Quite a scare for them. And Puerto Rico at the moment are down to 10. And they're waiting for Rosado to come round on the stretcher, and then she will be replaced by Daniela Perez. Nicely flicked through. Well taken care of by Reyes. Once again, you feel it's probably just a matter of time before Mexico get the break. Rosado is taking a very long time to get round the pitch. It's the other number 2 on the ball here now. Not the number 2 who's preparing to come on for Puerto Rico. An early substitution for them. But Mexico certainly having to work much harder here today than they did in their opening fixture when they rattled in 8 goals. They made their breakthrough on that day with a fabulous strike from Nicole Perez, their captain. A 20-yarder with the left foot. It's this goal side of the defence. It is. Can she take it all the way? Buzo holds on to it well. Didn't quite have the speed to make it a clear run. And then possession conceded. But Puerto Rico not able to advance quickly. So they go on to the back foot once again. Reyes. Well, just going in front of me in my commentary position here is the injured player, Bianca Rosado, who is really struggling. She winces with every step. You might see her just enter the bottom of your picture in a moment. Anyway, Daniela Perez is on in place of Rosado. There she is. First substitution of the match. Nowadays, 4 substitutes are allowed in certain games, but at the moment, only 3 have been summoned in all of the games here. Puerto Rico trying to find an opening for themselves with their new captain, Cacho. And this time they do put 3 passes together, and there may be something for them. Well covered across the line, and then a long-range try, and it's the first save that the new goalkeeper Ruvalcaba has had to make. Fairly routine one from the effort there from Maria Colon. Mexico 0, Puerto Rico 0, 17 minutes played. This isn't going to be an 8-0er. Much more even contest, even though Mexico have had a lot of the pressure, a lot of the play, and are digging in there again, trying to win the ball. Can't do so though. Puerto Rico gaining in confidence a little over the last few minutes. Calmly done by Soto. But, Puerto Rico very well organised at the moment. They were lucky to see that effort come back off the uprights a few minutes ago. And Reyes has to backtrack here. Plenty of red and white striped shirts around. Ruvalcaba from Guadalajara plays it out quickly. You can see those red and white striped shirts in a line, and as a result they are gifted the possession, but don't really take full advantage. Down the line goes Corretto. Better sort of a ball in here, but it didn't quite find Buzo. She might yet get a pass. The referee thought about a free kick there, didn't blow the whistle, and so here they come again with Morleon. Morleon, always purposeful in the way she runs with the ball at her feet. Puerto Rico have been warming up 4 of their substitutes. There's a bit of a burst from them there, but it's all nipped in the bud quite easily.
Step up, one of you. Creep up. Right shoulder.
We're just a question of waiting for the flag to go up there. So 0-0, and we've had just about 20 minutes of play here on day 3 of the championship organised by Concacaf to determine which 3 nations go to take their places in Uruguay later in the year. Many of those spaces have already been allotted, but not from Concacaf. It would be a major surprise if the United States of America do not take one of the 3 berths. But I think Haiti's performance later today will be of interest. They seem to be improving. The Mexicans have twice got goal side of the Puerto Rican defence, but not made it count yet. The best chance fell to Nayeli Diaz. She was just a mite greedy in taking on the shot herself when she could have squared it. So those in better positions, but she chose not to do. This could be dangerous. The keeper, no, she's sure, very sure, comes out and holds on. Canary yellow, the favoured colour for Cristina Roque today. I'm told that football is very much an emerging sport so far as women are concerned in Puerto Rico, and has been over the last 5 or 6 years. It's growing around the world. But no growth in terms of goals. Not yet today. This is a race which is well won by Julia Rodriguez. Perez, the captain. Reyes. Back then to Madrid. All very neat from Mexico. Not penetrative as yet, but it could be now. She'll burst on into the penalty area. Terrific run here, and the ball back and the goal. And it was a delightful goal as well. The credit goes to Diaz at the end of the day because her name is on the score sheet. But it was the run down the left that opened things up. And no answer to this from the Puerto Rican defense. The first goal of the day, and it is delightfully set up, and it's a simple finish for Diaz. She scored twice now in this championship, and at a cumulative distance of about 4 yards, I would say. Morleon is full of good running, and she simply invites her colleague to roll the ball into the empty net. Set up by Morleon, finished by Nayeli Diaz, who has her second goal of the championship. It's Mexico 1, Puerto Rico 0 on 22 minutes. Well, let's see if that opens the floodgates, or whether Puerto Rico can hit back quickly. It was Reyes who came out strongest there. It was the pace down the left, the pace of Natalia Morleon that made the difference there. The backtracking Puerto Rican defense could have no answer whatsoever to Morleon's pace. And it was a lovely setup, and in a funny way, she showed the goal scorer Diaz what should have happened earlier. Onside here, this should be number 2. Mexico already 1 ahead, and no, not yet 2, although the goalkeeper's made the save. Once again, it's Diaz who had the opportunity. Well, she should have had a hat-trick today already. It's funny that I was just talking about the fact that she'd been a little selfish earlier, and that Morleon had shown her the way with the pass into her path. And twice now, Diaz has made a break with only the goalkeeper to beat. She looks up, she can see the goalkeeper coming, she looks to have the poise, but she whacks it straight at the goalkeeper. That's one area of her game that she must improve. Well, she was beaming ear to ear about 2 minutes ago. Not so this time. Here comes Puerto Rico with a good response. The ball is taken away from Cacho. There is Morleon, number 17, who set up the goal with her pace. Pure pace. There's no answer to it. At any level of football, pace is a decisive factor. And Mexico would appear to have more of it in the shape of Morleon. And I fancy if Morleon had been the player who was in a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, she might well have scored. This is offside. Isabel Cacho, who plays for the Fray Coma club in Puerto Rico. You do find the odd player in most of these countries plays their football in the United States. Reyes is foiled on this occasion by the hard-working Graves, who won 5 tackles in the first game. She's won at least 2 today. Oh, there's a lovely run. That's a very good piece of work here for the Mexicans. It might be 2. It was a good enough cross ball from Yanin Madrid. But Diaz there in your picture, number 7, should be on a hat-trick. She should have already had a hat-trick today. Just to reflect on that, in a way there's nothing wrong with a greedy striker so long as they put the chances away when they get them. Goal scorers tend to be born. And out of your shot, one of the Puerto Rican players is desperately, I think, coming for a drink. No, she's coming for a word of advice from the touch lines. The Puerto Rican player who was taking advice was Leilani Rivera. They're a goal behind, but no more than that. It could have been 3 or 4. But a couple of splendid saves by Cristina Roque. But it really should be 3-0 now. And another hold-up. And I think maybe she was advised by the bench to go down and maybe ask for assistance. The referee is querying this fact. But Leilani Rivera has given a signal to say, I think she's okay. It was a curious one. Graves went off for a moment as well, but she's back on. Mexico 1, Puerto Rico 0. Mexico, the top scorers in the competition with 9 goals, and they're looking to make that 10 now with a long-range try. Missed by a whisker. Not bad at all from Granados. Marina Granados has never scored for Mexico, the girl from Tijuana. Not far away from what would have been a maiden goal. "21 goals scored already, and we're just in the 3rd day of competition here in Nicaragua. As the Mexicans look again, as she managed... Oh, I thought she'd stayed onside there. But the flag raised here by Milagros Leonardo from Dominican Republic tells us that she had gone too early. Let's have a look. Yep, that was just a fraction. Well, very much in focus, the number 7, Nieli Diaz. She's just 16 years of age from Los Angeles. Scored 3 times in the Concacaf Under-17 tournament a couple of years back. And it was a tap-in goal for her, the second of the match against Nicaragua. And she's got the first goal of this day. Reyes with the throw for Mexico. Buzo. And then lofted in high. Could get between the 2 defenders. Well, there's a downward header. It was Morleon who got between the 2 defenders there. After that little skirmish. No potency in the finish. We've not seen much of the Puerto Rican attack yet today. We didn't see much of them in the opening match. In the first half, they came on much more strongly in the second half, though. This time it is away by Julia Rodriguez, another who plays for the Florida Craze Club. Mexico just that much neater in possession. Stringing more passes together. Gets a flick on here, and then we'll race after it, and she'll get there first. There is support alongside, goes for goal, and it ripples the net, but the wrong side of the net, so far as Yanin Madrid is concerned. That was her own little back header that released her, ironically. Just couldn't conquer the angle. Half an hour played, Mexico just 1 goal to the good. I think they were 5 up by half time in the first match. And this one's all the way back to the almost unused goalkeeper. The goalkeeper who played in that first game, J.D. Gutierrez, didn't have a single shot to make. No, to save, rather. Here come Puerto Rico now. They continue to find it very difficult to break down that Mexican rear guard. The only danger for them would be complacency, really. So little to do. You get a nice shot of the synthetic surface here, which is played very well. As Mexico storm forward again. I'm sure they'd like the second goal before half-time. Good turn. Yeah, maybe the best player on the field at the moment is Natalia Morleon, but she's got a low centre of balance and uses it well. Well, there's been plenty of work for goalkeeper Roque, but she's been beaten only the once and had absolutely no chance with the goal from Diaz. Reyes uses her height and her power, and on she goes. She is powerful. Scored from just about where she is now the other evening. Fabulous strike. And still in possession. She must have held the possession there for 5 or 6 seconds, which is a long time in a game of football. She's got the ball back yet again. Puerto Rico simply cannot get the ball at the moment. The only goal that came as a result of a fabulous burst down the outside left channel. Through the centre that Buzo goes now. Holds it up very well, but then can't find a colleague with the pass. Nor can Puerto Rico move the play into the opposition half. It's all taken up by Nicole Perez. Well, you feel with all this possession of the ball, Mexico must surely find a second goal soon. But the Puerto Rican defence is well organised. A line of 4 at the moment, right across the 18-yard area. And they're posing the question to the Mexicans, find a way through. And if you do, fair enough. But it's not been easy. It's when it comes to going forwards that Puerto Rico struggle. No such travails for the Mexicans. Chances again here. That's a lovely play. And she's played a good ball as well. And here's the finish, which is behind. Rasping shot again. Everything seems to be falling to Nayeli Diaz today, and most of it put on a plate for her by Morleon. Here is Morleon's ball. Between the two defenders, she comes racing in on it. Seems to want to go for the net every single time. The offside flag is raised, even though Morleon never got into the possession. An easy one for the officials this time. This little number 17, the stocky figure of Natalia Morleon from Toluca, has been outstanding so far. 2 goals in the first match and has certainly laid on one today. And here she has her chance of her own now into the penalty area. Well covered as well. So the possession remains with Mexico. Trying to find some area around the 18-yard box, but the shot is direct at the goalkeeper. Nayeli Diaz has had more shots in this game than, well, some teams combined. In fact, I can't remember Puerto Rico getting a shot in so far tonight. We'll let you know that at half-time when we assess the events of the opening 45 minutes with the aid of our statisticians. Well, although the ball is won by Juliette Wolpert, she did so illegally, so it's a free kick and a chance now for Mexico to apply some pressure. And Reyes, who is one of the taller players, will, I think, join the throng up around the penalty area for this one. They might catch them out with a quick take. Granados. Strong enough to retain possession. But Mexico didn't profit from being alert. The floodlights are on here in Managua. But if Puerto Rico lose this one, I'm afraid the lights will go out on their bid to reach those world finals in Uruguay. They will not be able to do it. Just one game to come after this one. That's a better one, prodded through the middle, but easily dealt with and straight back to goalkeeper Rubalcaba. Well, they might get something here, Puerto Rico. Oh, a better pass there, and she was in. Unfortunately, she didn't find that better pass. So they might have a free kick. Well, let's see if they've been doing anything on the training ground worth watching. Free kick for the Puerto Ricans here. From that particular challenge which was made by Soto. Out comes the spray can. Well, she needs to be able to see beyond that wall. The player who's teeing it up is Gabrielle Cimino. Born in Florida, she scored in a recent 4-0 win against Cuba and did lay on the pass for the only goal Puerto Rico have managed in the championship so far, which is against Haiti. But she looks as though she's going to thump this one in because there's nobody else anywhere near her. Let's see what Cimino can do. Hits it high. I think it's too high though. Maybe just leaning back a little. And that's disappointing. And Mexico all the time in the world to play the ball forward. Well, if they had a romp on opening night, 8-0, they're at least being tested today. That's a good ball from Buzo. A pretty good turn as well. She's got some way to go yet though before she can manoeuvre the position for a cross. Granados. The Puerto Rican side unable to clear their lines effectively, so there should be a shot here. Just taking a fraction too long, and by the time we do have a shot, it's into those spectators behind the net. Well, Perez struck a beauty of a goal in the first match. The first goal of the match, indeed. But that wasn't one of her better efforts. But as things stand, Mexico have scored 9 times in these championships without conceding a single goal. They actually did beat Puerto Rico 4-0 in 2008 in Trinidad and Tobago, the first time the championships were held, and that remains the only meeting between these two before tonight. So Puerto Rico still to register a goal against their illustrious opponents. Of course, that 8-0 success against Nicaragua was a record for the Mexicans. Their previous best had been 7-0. Now she's goal side of the defence, struggling to retain possession though. And you feel for those front runners, Cacho and Cimino. For Puerto Rico, they've had absolutely no chance whatsoever. Very good hustling there from Walpert to make sure that it's a throw-in only for Mexico, quite deep in their own half though. We've had 40 minutes of play and we've had only 1 goal. Well, if she's onside here, she has a chance. She is onside. And fudge it against the opponent. That was Morleon with a chance to get her 3rd goal. Well played once again by defender Graves, holding the Puerto Rican defence together. Throw for Mexico. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the half. There should be at least 2 minutes of added time. After the injury to Bianca Rosado took a long time to clear up. Which way are the Mexicans going to go now? Perez is the one pointing the way, directing the operations, but it's come a long way back. And then played into the wider position by Carreto. It often happens that when a coach decides to make numerous alterations to a lineup, they can't find the same sort of rhythm. It's still understandable. He wants to have a look at the various players, and he's taken that option. There's not the same fluency about Mexico in this game as there was against Nicaragua. Almost a weak touch by Carreto, but she got away with that. Big question is, can Mexico find a second goal before half-time? They 5 forward here. They've got to stay onside. It's Buzo. She'll go for goal. It'll take a deflection. It will only deflect into the path of one of her colleagues, however, Madrid. Still, they don't clear the ball confidently. Well, there's got to be no long-range strike this time from Reyes. Not a successful one anyway.
Yes. 1 minute. Okay.
Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky.
Again, 3 Mexicans forward here. It needs a well-timed pass, and it's not a well-timed one. That's one of the poorer efforts from Moleon. That's the lack of rhythm I was talking about, which was there in such abundance the other evening. And it could well be that the Mexican coach may bring on someone like Alison Gonzalez in the second half. The Puerto Rican coach, you saw him there, is thinking more along the lines of how on earth to get a goal in this match. Well, they have got one in the championship. One or two teams haven't as yet. Bermuda didn't score, Costa Rica didn't score, Nicaragua didn't score. But it's been hard work under the lights for these two teams in the first 45 minutes and continues to be so. Although that's a bit of a giveaway from Rodriguez. Buzo, still Buzo, twists and turns and checks and then back heels, but they're going nowhere. It's all rather been hit and hope for Mexico in this half. They've taken a few wrong options as well. For all the possession they've had, they've not created anything like the chances they did on opening night. Corretto. Reyes waiting in the wings. Here she is. We're inside the last 60 seconds. Ooh, Corretto almost missed control there. Had the presence of mind to get away with it. This is through for Buzo. Is this number 2? No, and another save by Roque. It was Buzo who had the chance there, limping back. Vanessa Buzo, one of those who's yet to register. She came on as a substitute in the opening game. Holds off the challenge there of Graves, but can't finish. But when you look back on the opportunities that Nayeli Diaz has had, she's had at least 4 shooting opportunities. The Mexican coach here will concentrate, I fancy, on sharper finishing in the second half. That's the message she's got to impart in the dressing room very shortly, as we move into the added time, which will be just 1 minute.
Que se agrega 1 minuto al primer tiempo del partido.
From distance, but straight at the keeper again, and Rocky's positioning as good as ever. Well, if it's one thing I do find strange, it is that without question the injury to Bianca Rosado took at least 2 minutes, if not more, but we've got only a minute of added time. And we've had one substitution as well, with Rosado going off and Perez coming on. So that normally takes up another 30 seconds. Free kick Puerto Rico at the close of this first half, and that is indeed the close of the half. Well, an interesting half is one way of describing it. Only the 1 goal scored, which is the second of the championship for Nayeli Diaz. But she should have had a hat-trick already. She's missed 3 golden opportunities. Puerto Rico have yet to conjure up a single one. At half-time here in Managua, it's Mexico 1, Puerto Rico 0. The matches in this Campeonato Femenino Sub-17 have followed a pattern with one team dominating possession. Here it's Mexico with 63% of the ball, who've created 12 shooting opportunities for themselves against Puerto Rico's 2. At least Puerto Rico's 2 were on the mark. 7 of the Mexican shots were at the goalkeeper, 1 finished in the net. And we've had a total of 4 offsides and only 7 free kicks. Match 5, the early kick-off, and Mexico, former champions against Puerto Rico. Champions in 2013, Mexico, and soon Nayeli Diaz was in the thick of things, but unable to beat the goalkeeper. Roque's been outstanding in both games, despite the fact she's conceded 5 times. And once again, the goalkeeper tipping this effort against an upright, and they really should have finished it off, but the final effort from Vanessa Buzo, one of 6 changes in the Mexican lineup, was thwarted. This was the one real effort that Puerto Rico managed, and it came from outside the area. But this is the ball of the game, played by Granados, and then the pace here from the number 17, Natalia Morleon, led to a second goal in this championship for Nayeli Diaz. But super play, super pace shown by Morleon, and a very, very simple finish for Diaz. Maybe the one player showing the other how to do it in terms of laying a pass on for a colleague. Diaz, she simply couldn't miss. And by now she should have had a hat-trick, because having got goal side of the entire Puerto Rican defence again, Diaz picked out the goalkeeper and not the net. And again, it all petered out quite harmlessly. So at half-time, Mexico lead by the 1 goal scored. All set when you are, Daniel. Welcome back to the National Stadium of Nicaragua. You can tell from our shot, can't you, where we are in the world. And here are the officials from Costa Rica, from Dominican Republic, and from Guyana, the fourth official. And I think that there's going to be a change made by Puerto Rico at the start of the second half. In fact, there is. And might even be a double switch. It is the two players who are coming on are Calisa Muniz, number 19, and also Yari Maldonado, I think. Just looking to see if it is her. I'm pretty sure she is. With Maldonado. Who played in the first game and was in fact the captain, coming on. And it's a double switch. There is Maldonado now. The girl who lost just about everything in that catastrophic hurricane earlier in the year. Hurricane Irma. But she's back playing sports, which she loves, and is on for this second period. So a double switch made by Puerto Rico as we kick off again. No changes for the Mexicans. They lead 1-0. And you can hear a few shouts from the crowd. Enthusiastic relatives supporting their clans. Puerto Rico now, anybody just joining us, are playing from left to right in the red and white stripes, their regular outfits. The announcement of the switches are just being made to the crowd. Well, let's see if Puerto Rico can get more of an attacking motion to their game. They rarely threatened in the first half. But they did defend stubbornly, conceded just the once against the favourites, and have a chance on here because they're two goal side of the defence. This is a big one, and the goalkeeper just clings on. So well done to Rubalcaba. But that's an immediate notice that there's a chance here for Maldonado for Puerto Rico with the pace that she's got. She took on the shot. There was another player in the picture alongside her who might well have profited if the keeper had spilt that one. Rivera, one of those going off for Maldonado's arrival. Juliet Walpert was the other player who was replaced by Calisa Muniz. But a much brighter start to the second half for the underdogs. Calisa Muniz is also a striker from the club FSA. Maldonado plays for the Gladiators in Dorado, and she was one of the top scorers in qualifying. Rolled down the line by Cacho. Cacho still wearing the captain's armband, even though Maldonado has taken her place on the pitch now. There's a bit of a shirt pull, I think, there. The flag was raised, the whistle blown. And there's a confirmation that Walpert is the other player who has gone off to be replaced by Muniz, number 19. But definitely there's some wind in the sails of Puerto Rico in the second half. And they're creating spaces now in attack. Questions being asked of the Mexicans. They're under pressure here and have got a free kick of Puerto Rico. Well, this is the brightest we've seen from them. It was one of those, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but eventually the referee's whistle went against Nicole Soto's challenge. Oh, well, we may have a more even contest in the second half. Mexico enjoying a lion's share of possession in the first. And we've not seen a really good free kick yet. Now would be the time. It's 30 yards out, though. So asking a lot. Goalkeeper Ruvalcaba, vocal as goalkeepers have to be. Is she going to go for goal? 3 players standing immediately in front of her, and she does go for goal and keeps it down. But it never looked like getting through. Mexico move forward and then try to switch the point of play. But then it's a given back here. Puerto Rico very much livelier than they were in the first 45. I'm sure they will have some defending chores to undertake. Reyes for Mexico. Longer ball over the top. Chances here for the Mexicans if they get this one right. They didn't, not for the moment anyway. They might yet. There's the shot, and there's another save from Cristina Roque. She must have made more saves than anybody in this championship, I reckon. She made 7 in the opening game, and here she is tested again by Yanin Madrid. We've not seen any great evidence of tired legs in this championship yet, which is a good sign that these players' fitness levels are improving year upon year. 90 minutes can be quite a long time. And with another injury. This time it's Noemi Granados. 2 number 6s in conflict. And it was the Mexican number 6 that came off worst. Roque Perez says sorry about that. No cards. Maldonado's just taken some sort of instruction from the Puerto Rican bench. It'd be nice to see her among the goals, fulfilling a real ambition by playing in these finals just months after the devastation suffered by Puerto Rico. Well caught, Roque. We've had 6 minutes in the second half. We've had no change in the scoreline. Reyes on the ball for Mexico. Well, again, they almost concede the possession to Puerto Rico. Mexico do well not to concede a free kick on that occasion as well. Now they tend to move forward in unison. Have to hold things up though, so Buzo reverses the pass for Perez. Stepping up this time is Eslin Garcia. Here's Garcia once again. Her debut in the tournament. In fact, it's her first full cap. Reyes, who's always purposeful when she moves forward like this. They're fencing, but the Puerto Ricans are pulling players back behind the ball. Buzo goes in. It's grabbed. Good anticipation this time shown by Roque, the goalkeeper. Mexico 1, Puerto Rico 0, 52 minutes gone. By no means a one-sided contest now. And as the Puerto Rican player goes down, the free kick is awarded there to Mexico, who might feel that they could have had a break on. The referee chose to halt play. The young ladies accept the decision before the free kick is taken, and now in fact the free kick has gone the other way. Well, that's a strange one. That seems to be a turnaround there in the opinion of the officials, or maybe a misunderstanding on the part of the players and the commentator. Still just 1 goal on the night. To come later, Nicaragua against Haiti. Nicaragua also needing a win to keep their hopes alive, just like Puerto Rico here. They have to score a goal at least to have a chance of advancing. But a rather clumsy clearance. Well, it was an opportunity for Maldonado. She couldn't take it, but she's had 2 efforts already in the 8 minutes she's been on the pitch. That was poor defending on that occasion. And Maldonado in the D fires in hard and low, but once again the goalkeeper's taken up perfect position. The next goal is going to be crucial in this one. If Mexico get it, I think you would fear for Puerto Rico's prospects. If Puerto Rico get it, they'll be right in this match. Here's a good run again from Morley and a good pass as well. Buzo shots is just over the angle. Well, Buzo knew that she had a big chance there, drove it in well, and it was just on the rise over the top of the crossbar. You can hear a foot of boot on ball there. The clearance from Roque up to halfway, where Mexico find themselves on the ball again. Scuffed back to the goalkeeper. Ooh, she almost left it too late. Well, she did leave it too late, but they'd taken too long about getting a shot in there. Well, that could have been hugely embarrassing for goalkeeper Rubalcaba. But they took too long to take advantage of a poor clearance from the goalkeeper. So it's Mexico still advancing. Strong enough to retain the possession. Good enough to piece together a few passes here. This has to be an opportunity for them. Reyes turning up on the left-hand side. Only a throw-in. Good defending by the substitute, Daniela Perez, who came on early in the match as a result of injury to Bianca Rosado. Into the area. Oh, must surely be a chance this time, and that's number 2, and it could be the clincher. And the best player on the pitch, Natalia Moleon, has got that second for the Mexicans. It's goal number 3 of the championship, staged by Concacaf for her, and she now becomes the joint top scorer in 2018 here. Taking the throw-in in one, wriggling beyond the defender, and placing it just inside the upright. The goalkeeper confused, and Natalie Moleon has her 3rd goal of these championships in Nicaragua. Mexico are 2 to the good now. Well played, Moleon. Solo goal. And she is now level on 3 goals with Flero Surprise, the striker from Haiti, who we'll be seeing later on. She got a hat-trick on opening night. Probably no more than Mexico deserve. And the goal scorer, Moleon, certainly deserved her goal because she set up the first one and has been instrumental in most of the best Mexican moments. She does like to dally on the ball a little bit, Ana Paula Rubalcaba. Mexico will make a switch in a moment. I think the coach will decide that it's not quite job done, obviously, but they are well on their way now. And remember, Mexico have now scored 10 goals here without conceding. Foul by Maldonado. And in total, in this their 27th match in Concacaf Under-17 women's tournaments, Mexico have now scored 75 times and conceded just 20 goals.
Sustitución por la selección de México.
Granados
Entra
is
con el
coming
número
off.
18, Mariana Elizondo. Sale con el número 6.
And coming on is Mariana Elizondo. Elizondo was actually a substitute in the first game, and it really is a backs-to-the-wall job again here now for Puerto Rico, though they're awarded this free kick. Reyes has switched over for the second half to a left-sided position. Previously, she's figured at right fullback. To good effect, too. Well, you feel a little for the Puerto Rican goalkeeper, Cristina Roque, the 16-year-old, because she's been utterly blameless in all the 6 goals that have gone in to her net. totally exposed on the last one, but clever play from Natalia Molion. This time the goalkeeper does rush the ball away to safety. To Reyes, who wriggles inside the challenge of Rodriguez. And then it's slipped forward here. Question of who gets there first. It is Busso. Busso will pass the ball. And Mexico are passing it rather better in the second half than they did in the first. Here's a run from Nicole Perez. Needs a cross as well. She'll get the corner. Solid defending. Once again by the businesslike Julia Rodriguez, the one who wears the visual aids. The corner now from Nicole Perez for Mexico. 2 goals to the good. 3 would end the contest, I'm sure. Keeper comes off the line, but he's able to make a routine stop from the downward header from Buzo. Mexico 2, Puerto Rico 0, and we've virtually had an hour's play in Managua. There are league games taking place today in Nicaragua. Here's Busso, manages to slip the pass through. Diaz always wants to go for goal herself, but this time she does pass it. And is that offside? It is. We have now had an hour. Yes, matches played around the country today in Nicaragua, but FC Banagua, who would have been at home today, having to play in a different stadium because of this particular championship. Carreto's ball. Mexico looking far more potent in this second half than they ever did in the first, and here's another great run. Once again she took on the goalkeeper, but Diaz can't beat her. Always willing to try her luck. But Nayeli Diaz can only find the hands of Cristina Roque. Time after time today. Free kick. No complaints from Gabriel Cimino. It was a foul. But I think Mexico are taking the attitude here of that they're well on course. They've got 3 points in the bag. They're 2-0 up in the second game. They've scored 10 without conceding, so they just don't need to do anything silly now. Without exactly strolling through the best of half an hour, they can sort of take their foot off the accelerator pedal just a little bit. That was a good clearance. And the 2 goalkeepers involved in the space of about 5 seconds there, the one with the clearing ball and the other with the pickup. Rolled out almost with disdain by Rubalcaba. And this might be a problem. Diaz, she's probably got to do it all by herself, and she could do it all by herself as well. She'll certainly get something from this, will she? Throw in. Solid work once more by Liliana Graves from Western. There are 1 or 2 players here in different countries who play for the Western Football Club. Calmly done by Aislinn Garcia. Mexico with plenty of players forward at the moment. Trying to find a 3rd goal. Busso tries to stroke it through the gap. By the time she does so, I think it might be asking just a little bit too much. There's the substitute, Elizondo from Tigre. But it's a similar pattern now to the first half, in that Puerto Rico, who had a good spell at the beginning of this half, are struggling to get the ball in the opposition half and into shooting positions for the likes of Maldonado, who had 2 early efforts having come on as a substitute. This is the scorer of the 2nd goal. Natalia Morleon further forward again now. Play spread by Perez. Diaz. Diaz has to dig in to win his a second time. Tries to get on the outside. Just swing across in here. Oh, a real miss, and this must be number 3. Morleon's got another couple to her name, and this is now the top scorer in the Concacaf Women's Under-17 tournament of 2018. Once again, goalkeeper Roque totally exposed. This time, Diaz has done the right thing. She's lofted the ball in, but it's a horrible miss by the defender and a routine finish for Natalia Morleon. Her second of the night, her 4th of the tournament. Mexico are on their way to 3 more points. But it was a horrible miss by the defender there, Perez. And taking full toll was the delightful Morleon. 4 goals for her in just, 2 matches, not 4 matches either yet. And she's got those 2 goals in the space of 8 minutes. Funnily enough, she got 2 goals in the space of 9 minutes against Nicaragua. So she does tend to get her goals in batches. As Natalia Morleon. This is Reyes. Still Puerto Rico can't find a way through. Ooh, that was nearly sloppy. The ball nearly went out for what would have been a really unnecessary corner kick. And Puerto Rico do at least have the consolation of a throw-in for themselves. Taken, and just outside that, well, it looks like it might well have been a foul there. Here is a shot. Brought to safety for the time being. The goalkeeper's down in a heap of bodies and may be hurt here. She's clung onto the ball. Fair enough for Maldo to challenge for it. Completing the sandwich was Nicole Soto. Oh, rather scrappy. Let's have a look at this one. Was there a foul there? Maybe not. Just strong defending, it would seem, from Reina Reyes. But a somewhat unsettling moment for the Mexican defence. There have not been too many of those. They lead 2-0 and with about 25 minutes to go. Sorry, 3-0 and 25 minutes to go. Maldonado. Things would certainly perk up for Puerto Rico if Maldonado could strike for them. They have some tall, languid players. But it's defensively here that they might be found wanting again. Soto. And then Buzo. And Buzo gets it through, but Diaz can't latch onto the ball. Will be a throw-in for Puerto Rico. And looking at it from their aspect, Puerto Rico have now scored once and conceded 7 times. So a goal difference for them of -6. Mexico +11. So there's a lot of work for Haiti to do if Haiti are to be top of Group A tonight. But I think we can say with some certainty that Mexico have booked their place in the semi-finals. And probably as Group A winners. Means that Haiti have to go for a whole cluster of goals against Nicaragua later this evening. Here they come once again. Buso, who's looked as though she's capable of scoring, and plays the ball through towards Diaz, who gets in between keeper and defender. It is scuffed to safety by Graves. I think Diaz lost her whereabouts there, otherwise she might have had another goal to add to her collection as well. As the keeper spilled the ball for once, but Graves was there to take care of the situation. Morleon. Perez, they're queuing up here. It's Reyes' turn to advance this time, and then she will pull it back. Oh, they're coming left, right and centre now of the goals, and this is a beauty for Buzo. I said that she's been worth a goal, and brought into the team tonight, Vanessa Buso gets her reward with Mexico's 4th of this match and 12th of the championship. But Reyes is the one who did all the hard work. It's a similar goal to the first one. You feel for Cristina Roque. She's in a shooting gallery right now. Reyes with the layoff and a stylish finish from Vanessa Busso. It's Mexico 4, Puerto Rico 0. The Aztecas are unstoppable. The first goal coming on 69 minutes. And the first new goal scorer for the Mexicans tonight, though it is Busso's 4th in just 8 appearances for her country. You feel they've got the taste for a few more now as well. Oh, they might well get a 5th now. Oh, so they called it a shooting gallery a moment ago, and that's exactly what it is. And maybe Puerto Rico are just starting to feel the heat and the pressure. Aislinn Garcia, who was forward there. One of the problems can be that everybody wants to get on the score sheet when it starts turning like this. A rare moment, the ball's in this half of the field. Mollion. Wide is Reyes. Good turn again from Busso. They're putting the passes together much more now and making Puerto Rico really work hard. Mexico look like scoring every time they attack at the minute. Reyes steps forward, another good ball from her. Mollion, clever turn, a switch from Busso, who's good with the ball at her feet. There are so many white shirts around in here now. Clipped across by Madrid. Reyes wants to play centre forward, it would seem. And Puerto Rico are just giving the ball away time after time. Well played by the goalkeeper, otherwise it was a hat-trick for Mollion. Cristina Roque is standing between Puerto Rico and an absolute thrashing at the moment. Mollion had taken it on, got into the position behind the defender, lashed it in, and a spectacular diving stop from Cristina Roque. She's been beaten 8 times and yet has been a standout performer for Puerto Rico goalkeeper Cristina Roque. And would you believe we've got a corner at the other end. With 19 minutes to go. Well, they lost their first match to Haiti by 4-1. If they can get a goal now, we'll have a similar scoreline. Anyway, there'll be no more goals on this evening for Natalia Mollion.
Sustitución para la selección de México. Entra con el número 20. Aileen sale con el número 17. Natalia Mollion, minuto 72.
The replacement is Aileen Avilés, who actually scored within 2 minutes of coming on the other evening. Best substitution we've seen yet. Puerto Rico with a corner kick. Comes to do nothing. The noise levels in the crowd seem to be growing just a little bit as well. Raucous enthusiasm. That's not a bad pass, and it will just get all the way through to Rubalcaba. No shooting opportunities on this evening for Isabel Cachot yet. She scored 6 times in her last 5 appearances, including the goal against Haiti. Has had not a sniff of hope tonight. And once again the race is on, and once again it may well be won by the Mexican. Now the goalkeeper alert in her sweeping role, and what's more, hammers it downfield to launch an attack. Rubalcaba using her feet to help clear the lines. Now Querétaro, who comes from Monterrey, in the northern part of Mexico. Well, depends where this one lands. If it's in behind the defender, well, it doesn't matter because the flag is raised. It is offside. "17 minutes to go. And I think on the evidence of the first half, we can assume there won't be much added time in the second half. A flat clearance this time from Roque. And you really do feel there are more goals in this Mexican side yet. Not for the moment. Roque does the first job in getting the ball down field. I think you saw in the bottom of your picture there another potential Mexican substitute. They do go forward again here now, however. "4-0 it is. 12 goals scored already for Mexico in this tournament. 8 against the host nation 2 nights ago, another 4 this evening, and they will now make another switch, and they will take off Nayeli Diaz, who's got a couple of those goals, one on the first night, one tonight. She could easily have had a hat-trick this evening, but she's going to come off now for the and she gives way to Alison Gonzalez, and that is a rather awesome sight, because for me this player has been the best we've seen in the entire championship. Scorer of 2 goals, assists on no fewer than 5 others, and coming on with fresh legs for the last 15 minutes. Well, they've got power to add to this 4 goals that they've already managed to secure on the night, and that's nearly another one. And it was Busso, scorer of the 3rd of those goals, who was close again there. Could have been anything, this scoreline. She didn't really intend that, I don't think, and it's just drifted wide. That would have been a bit harsh on the goalkeeper. And on Puerto Rico, who've tried gamely, never lost hope, and will be forward here now, but it's just flicked too far forward for Casio. She can't latch onto that one. It will be kept in play down here by Reyes, this long striding fullback, flicks the ball through. Well covered at the back by the Puerto Rican defender and substitute Danela Perez. Came on very early after the injury to Bianca Rosado. And that may have just unhinged the Puerto Rican defence a little bit. Now here's another of the substitutes. Oh, and putting real pace into this. A lovely ball from her as well. Is this number 5 for the Mexicans? No, another stop from Cristina Roque, who has certainly made more saves than anybody else in this championship. The latest from a player looking for her 3rd goal, Alison Gonzalez. Accepting the pass. Here she is now. Strikes it well, with the keeper down well. You would not bet against Gonzalez featuring on a score sheet tonight. Busso. They're cutting the Puerto Rican defence to ribbons at the moment. A rather tired attempt to get the ball away from Julie Rodriguez from Florida Craze. She was actually a late replacement in this championship for Bellarica Oquendo. 13 minutes to go. Mexico 4 goals to the good, 12 to the good so far as their bid for a spot in the semi-finals is concerned. And don't forget to come the second match of the evening, Nicaragua against Haiti. The ball is flashed across, but offside. And that will be an interesting matchup the next game. Nicaragua maybe have been a little overawed on their debut in the first match against the Mexicans. And they were certainly outplayed. But Haiti, who have a goal difference of +3 already, will fancy their chances of enhancing that situation considerably. Haiti have been among the goals in most of their games. They've scored in all their last 5 matches. And would expect to get a goal or 2 this evening. This one might drop very handily for Mexico. They're 4 forward in this move already. The first pass was not a good one. Taken on by captain Nicole Perez from the Chivas club in Guadalajara, as opposed to the one in the US of A. Long ball laid across. This time the first clearance is successful, only as far as Reyes, who scored with a long distance drive the other evening. Offside Buzo. We've seen quite a few offsides in the last few minutes. The officials having to retain their concentration just as much as the players. And yeah, she's off by a good foot. Vanessa Busso, also from Chivas Club, scored 3 times in the Under-17 Concacaf tournament, twice against Costa Rica, and once with a penalty. There have been a few skirmishes, there's another one there, but not a surfeit of fouls on this night. No hint of a yellow card from the referee from Costa Rica for any of the challenges that we've seen like that one. Mexico still 4 goals up here against Puerto Rico and looking to make it 5. That would really be emphatic, as if it's not already. And hard in and well saved Roque again. Buzo looking for a double. She's the only new name on the score sheet tonight, Vanessa Buzo. Another goal for Nayeli Diaz and 2 more for Natalia Morleon, who, as I mentioned, is top scorer in the championship now with 4 goals. We've had 80 minutes, 10 to go. Game over, really. A question of damage limitation for Puerto Rico. Tired legs out there as the Mexicans win the ball rather easily. Yanin Madrid, who has switched from one flank to the other. Reyes, who's done the same since the first half. Out calmly this time by Rubalcaba. So 2 different goalkeepers for the Mexicans in the 2 games, and neither has conceded. And neither has been over troubled either. Buzo's onside this time. Cuts in field. May unleash a shot. Plays it through instead. Gonzalez still in the possession. Gonzalez looking for another assist, if not another goal. And it's driven straight to the keeper. One thing you have to say about Cristina Roque, the Puerto Rican goalkeeper, is a positional play, is exemplary. Always seems to be in the right place to get in the line of the shot, which is an art. 9 minutes left. Well, Puerto Rico's coach, Sheikh Barkovsky, knows that it's very much a learning curve for these players. Gonzalez has laid the ball back. They're coming forward in number again here, the white shirts of the Mexicans. Hustling and bustling to win and retain possession. And when they come forward in number like this, it's intimidating for the opposition. Madrid. Check from her. Pass to Reyes, who will jink away into the area. Reyes trying to line up the shot. Gets the shot in and slewed away just off the outside of the boot. That would have been a second for the right fullback. She got the taste now, the fullback from Dallas. Scored with a spectacular effort in the previous game. Almost had it taken away from her, and just too difficult an angle. Well, we've been averaging 5 goals per game, so 1 more would keep up the average. It'd be nice if Puerto Rico got it. Neatly done by Rubalcaba. Buzo. Oh, an ambitious ball, but a perfectly placed one for Madrid. And the cross must surely produce a goal. That's number 5, and it is Gonzalez who gets it. So she goes on to 3 for the championship. Partada fancied her to score. She's so cool. But it's a lovely pass played into her as well. She takes up the right station. There is the ball in, just traps it, kills it dead, taps it home. Easy, easy. The cross was a beauty from Madrid. The finish isn't bad either. Stylishly done for Alison Gonzalez, his third goal of these championships. It's 5-0 Mexico. It's 13-0 Mexico overall. Some statistics. And we've kept up our average of 5 goals per game. Still 7 minutes left, plus added time. Well, I said earlier that for me, Alison Gonzalez is player of the championship. Early days, of course, this is only game 5, but she's a stylish player. Everything she does with aplomb. That's not a bad pass through, but the offside flag is going to be raised against Maldonado. Maldonado with a colourful headband. Number 10 for Puerto Rico came on at half-time to replace Leilani Rivera. She's had 2 or 3 shooting opportunities in the half. With the game drifting towards an inevitable conclusion, and a predictable one really. I think if you'd have said before the start what sort of scoreline would you expect, we'd have probably said, well, 5 or 6-0 to Mexico. Here is Busso. Slips it through, unselfish again for Gonzalez, who has another one. It's all too easy. Simple as you like. And it's the same combination, Busso and Gonzalez. And this is wretched, really, on Puerto Rico, who have fought bravely, but who are now being torn to shreds. Clever little pass, a little shimmy. She's created the space for the shot and literally rolled it across the turf. Busso there almost turned the shoulder to fool the opposition. And it's so stylish. Again, that's the only word to describe the finish of Alison Gonzalez, who is now joint top scorer in this championship, along with her colleague Natalia Morleon. They've both scored 4 times. Mexico have got 6 on the evening. And they're up to 14-0 on the goal count. Here come Puerto Rico now. Chance for Maldonado. May have to do it all by herself, though. 2 defenders converge around her and manage to clear the lines. Puerto Rico trying gamely to get on the score sheet. It sounds like a hiding at 6-0. I suppose it is. It might even get worse now. Look at this. Busso's been hugely instrumental in this second half. 1 goal for her, and she's got a couple of assists too. And plays it into the wider position. Here's the pull back towards Gonzalez. She won't get there this time. But they are on the ropes here, Puerto Rico, without doubt. And it was 2 goals in 2 minutes for Alison Gonzalez. She's only been on the field about 10 minutes. But what an impact she's made. She was laying on goals for everybody else on Thursday. Today, she's the finisher. 2 for Natalia Morleon, 2 for Alison Gonzalez, 1 for Vanessa Busso, and 1 for Nayeli Diaz. All adds up to Mexico 6, Puerto Rico 0. Well, I said at half-time that I thought there should have been more added minutes in the first half after the injury to Bianca Rosado. I don't think I would have any complaints, and I don't think Puerto Rico would have any complaints if the referee chose not to add any time on at all here now, to just end their suffering. But they come again, and they will take some solace from this performance. It's taken a long time for their resistance to be broken. When you think back, most of the goals have come in this second half. It was only 1-0 at half time. And the floodgates really opened round about the 70th minute when Busso scored the 4th. 2 goals for substitute Gonzalez since. added a little lustre to the scoreline so far as Mexico are concerned, and they've only got another couple of minutes in which to register again. Gonzalez with the pass to Busso this time. That combination is proving deadly. This might just be another one. 7 it is. It's gone in off the upright, and it's another for another player, Aviles, who gets her second of the championships as well as a substitute. It took her 2 minutes the other evening, and Cristina Roque has now conceded 11 times and yet not been blamed to a single one of those goals. The defender might have done better there, but Aviles took advantage. It's just gone in, clipped off the upright. And it's a very tired and bedraggled looking Puerto Rico who concede for the 7th time on the evening to yet another goal scorer. This time 14-year-old Aileen Aviles from Sinaloa. Mexico 7, Puerto Rico 0. We're inside the last minute. And can they match their scoreline of the first evening, which was 8-0? Well, that indeed would be hard on Puerto Rico. But they've scored 6 times in this half. It just shows what's possible. What is not possible is a goal for Puerto Rico, I don't think, with 15 seconds to go. And I do not expect a great deal of added time. 8-0, 7-0. Fairly consistent, you would say. This one doesn't get through to Maldonado either. Going round in circles is the player Colon. In fact, the referee is not going to give any added time whatsoever. So Mexico have got 6 points. They're going through to the semi-finals. The substitute here, number 10, Alison Gonzalez, came on to great effect, scoring twice in 2 minutes. There were 2 goals as well for Natalia Morlion. Vanessa Busso, Nayeli Diaz, and then right at the death, Aileen Aviles, also figuring in that 7-0 scoreline.
Damas y caballeros, ha llegado el momento de anunciar a la jugadora del partido. La jugadora del partido es Natalia Morlion, de la selección de México, con el número 17. Felicidades.
Estamos con Isabel Cacho, capitana de Puerto Rico. Isabel, ¿qué hizo México que hizo el juego tan complicado?
Pues tienen una jugadora bien rápida, dominan muy rápido los pases del balón en la cancha. Nada, hicimos errores bobos que se pueden mejorar en juegos futuros, pero vamos a seguir practicando y dándole todo lo que tenemos.
¿Qué debe mejorar para el siguiente partido?
Pues como dije, ellas son bien rápidas técnicamente, pasan el balón bien rápido. Cualquier error que nosotros hagamos, pues nos van a punish. Nada, tenemos que estar más pendientes de los espacios abiertos que estemos dejando, hacer más pases.